because of those multi-hit combos just being interrupted too much by those grenades. PS2, same stage choice again, so likely we will probably be sticking back here unless ApolloKage does have another option on this stage choice. I think that Dank was doing a very good job throughout that first game, but obviously, you know, Snake does rack up a ton of damage, but speaking of racking up damage, ApolloKage now 100% behind and a full stock behind, and the taunt. Dank is in the driver's seat in game 2.
Yeah, very good catch there from Sir Dank into that up smash right off of the platform. That's exactly how he's going to want to clean up things here. However, especially with those uppy, it's a little safe, but at the same time, it's not. It's a little risky as he, you know, makes himself vulnerable and kind of exposes himself here. However, he's able to still rack up a little bit percentage here, trying to take full advantage of this first stock situation. And again, yeah, a lot of these uppies are going unpunished from ApolloKage here, so he's really just trying to finish off this first stock, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dank's using some of the grenades sometimes to get rid of that end lag from the Raptor boost if he does miss. And ApolloKage has been getting this percent, but he still needs to find a kill here as Dank is putting on more and more pressure with 80%, not falling for anything with that up tilt after that jab or F tilt. We're about even stocks right now, or even percents, but the stock count is 3-2 in Dank's favor. That back air, I don't know, that's set in a weird way for me.
Yeah, I mean, the deficit is just getting stronger here, but however, ApolloKage is able to finally close it out there with that first stock, and now we're seeing a fair come through, a dash attack, and this is where, you know, Snake is going to shine more here, right? We're going to see the rage really matter, and it's going to be a crucial part that ApolloKage gets through here to even out the percentages.
You seen Dank in the face cam, he is scared out of his mind. Bro was so scared by the damage output. Like, look at this. It's 100% to 180, which is basically the same. But from the top ropes, a Raptor boost to the heavens will take out ApolloKage's stock a little bit later than Dank would have liked.
Yeah, however, though, Sir Dank still has his second stock to make amends with, but unfortunately the Nikita tracing there from ApolloKage really just going to wrap it up here. And again, we're just back to the last stock situation that we saw in game 1, where both these players are really just going at it, and we're just seeing the consistency from both players are really just aggro and facing off one another.
Yeah, we're seeing this right here. I mean, Dank really is putting his foot on the gas, not letting ApolloKage get comfortable, as ApolloKage is more of a reserved player emotional-wise. However, just if Dank is in that advantage state, if he's in the zone, he is in the zone, and we've seen that constantly here in this game, or even in the set and previous sets. I mean, 100% ahead right here.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for ApolloKage here. Sir Dank really looking for the finishing move. Anything will hopefully do it, but again, that uppy interrupted, not looking too good. Really trying to close this out right now, but ApolloKage gonna go high here with 170%. The dash attack not going to close it out.
No, not quite. The PS2 blast zones are still a little bit large, but I do like Dank calling out the option here. Here's a kill throw potentially. Snake is a heavy boy, but it's not enough with the little bit of rage that he has, and he will be taking game 2.
Yeah, a lot of great adjustments we're seeing there from Sir Dank. However, we're still seeing those moments of Sir Dank shine through where, again, we've mentioned that because he's from our scene, we're very used to like the way that Sir Dank plays. And seeing much of ApolloKage's presence like at big majors or even at the Midwest events and such, we're both very familiar with these two players, so it's really going to be neck and neck now that we're evening out to games here also at 1-1.
I think they just went straight back to, oh no, they went to small battlefield. I zoned out for a second, just a little bit on the stage choice. But the smaller stage definitely will be a little bit more for ApolloKage. I know that PS2 is kind of a Snake stage, but less breathing room for Dank trying to get away from all of these grenades here.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the percents are going at it. These first stocks are always so crucial. The grenade into that up air. Just, you know, if you're behind against Snake, it's always such a hard thing to come back from, but Dank hitting that knee where it mattered most really is going to be finding back to even stocks apiece.
Yeah, that sweet spot knee was exactly the only way Sir Dank could get that clean slate here. Both players now on their second stock. How he kind of struggling to get back on stage or even a little bit of stage controls. We see Dank really controlling the air here, trying to rack up more percentage, but 2 up airs will take Sir Dank's stock for a second time.
Yeah, that grenade just sent perfectly into that up air, and unfortunately Dank is playing on the back foot once again, so ApolloKage now sitting with the lead a little bit, is racking up this extra percent with the grenades, and that's where it really matters for Snake.
Yeah, Dink might be down here, but he's not out just yet. As long as he can hang on to his stock here, gonna dash through, getting more percentage down air into up air. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna be the killing blow just yet. Maybe looking for an up B to close it off. Not really sure.
Yeah, not quite that grenade. That C4 on the right platform almost set Dank up to lose that game. The Raptor Boost will, but there is another C4 right on that right platform. Did go away as ApolloKage has a reasonable lead here in this third game.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to hang on to it. As we've seen, the grenades have done a lot of interruption here, and the up tilt once again will close it out. And I do see how small Battlefield really shines through here for ApolloKage. I mean, we did see the blast zone was so helpful for him in that situation where two uppers were killing Dank under 100%. And especially there with the up tilt, as we just know, very strong snake move and really paying off for ApolloKage.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing that final destination pick for Game 4 here. And now ApolloKage does have the counter pick stage choice for Game 5 if Dank is able to push it to it. We'll see if that is the case here, as now we're moving to a stage with no platforms, nowhere to hide, and the C4 blending into the stage just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a concern to be worried about here if I were Dank. So gotta keep your eyes peeled, especially with audio is kind of an important thing too. I know some people might not be able to hear it or even like really hear Snake say here or there or whatever. So sometimes I know that's crucial. So we'll see if Dank's got it. I mean, he's doing a great job right now, keeping ApolloKage in the air and off stage. Trying to go for a deep edge guard. The uppie, not going to take it out just yet, as Snake has a great mobility and uppie there.
Yeah, Dank is doing a really good job of tracking ApolloKage's aerial movement in that situation there. Was not able to find a kill, but the percent does matter always in these games here, since you can find your kills eventually. Dank trying to find an option here versus ApolloKage. All right, we're seeing ApolloKage trying to take a little bit of a space as well, just trying to get these grenades, a little bit of these smaller hits to find a confirm out of here, as now both of them are at these high percents. This first kill matters a lot. Once again, Dank reaching to the top of the heavens for the Raptor boost.
Yeah, and I usually see a lot of people versus against Snake players, they don't really try to aim high because of the risk of like the Cypher or potential C4 dropping or even grenades. But Dank really is fearless into this match and is risking it all at this percentage he's at on this first stock. So really kudos to him for being able to just risk it all there.
Yeah, the risk is so high because if he misses, then he just loses his stock there, because ApolloKage is able to basically react perfectly. But I'm surprised that knee hit that sweet spot. Dank is sitting pretty at 3 stocks to 1, but you can't count somebody like ApolloKage out being the 1 seed here at Honeypot 7.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to be seeing ApolloKage making the correct adjustments here if he wants to survive this game 4 and see it out through a 3-1. But again, we'll see. Dank still has 2 stocks to bounce around with, but the dare was so beautiful there. Again, just correct spacing on everything with Dank. ApolloKage really got to step on the gas just a little bit more.
Yeah, I loved that wake coming out from Dank for the air dodge call out. He's really feeling himself in this game 4 right now, and you have to go for these big plays, especially with top 8 winners qualifiers on the line. But ApolloKage is still fighting back. 76% is not the greatest for extra credit, but you gotta just roll with it at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Okay, yeah, ApolloKage gonna
too mid-stage.
But this is scary because, again, as we've seen like time and time again, when ApolloKage goes high, Dank is willing to go extra high too. And we saw that he's going for those backers, potentially another uppie. So ApolloKage has to play it safe. But all of these risky options like dash attack into Dank is just risky. Yeah,
we're seeing Dank trying to go for that Raptor boost once again. It will be the dash attack chasing out ApolloKage for this game 4. Moving on to a clean game 5 for our first top 8 qualifier.
Yeah, and now we're going to be seeing that counter pick from ApolloKage, as you said, Gamma. So this is really going to depend a lot on, if Dank is able to bring this back, especially that ApolloKage is choosing to go back to small battlefield, which is the stage he won on. And it was somewhat close, but it also wasn't. It was a battle for Dank there, as we saw that he lost a lot of the air battles and stuff like that, and we saw ApolloKage closing them out with the up air and the up tilt. So Yeah, this is really the time for Sir Dank to make those adjustments and adaptations right now.
Definitely the slower gameplay that ApolloKage was wanting to do on FD will work out better on small battlefield in that third game, but we'll see how it works out in this fifth game now that Dank is making this a game 5 situation. All right, more of these grenades attacking on percent, and it feels like it should be more in ApolloKage's favor. However, this is even percent right off the bat. ApolloKage trying to go for that grenade into the up air as we saw in the previous game, not quite working out in that time.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of more stage control from ApolloKage because he's able to place the C4s wherever he pleases. Nonetheless, on the platforms, on the stage, the whole stage itself is a threat to Sir Dank because he can't safely land on the platforms, he can't exactly do what he wants, and because ApolloKage is conditioning him into exactly the places where he wants, it's basically a mousetrap, so he's got him right where he's want him.
Yeah, I mean, the actual platforms just being set up like this are doing so much percent to Dank as ApolloKage is really just going in once again in F tilt. Dank now on his last potential winner stock. It's not looking good for Dank after fighting so hard to push this to game 5.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough feat to make up here. However, ApolloKage is at kill percent, except for that up B on stage won't do it just yet. It's Sir Dank really needing to close this stock out before ApolloKage does any more damage on the second stock here.
Getting the gentleman to knock him off stage. Dank looking to maybe go a little bit deep here versus ApolloKage. The C4 is not an option for this landing and does not get anything for ApolloKage here landing. 208% getting saved by his grenade. Dank cannot chase comfortably.
Yeah, except for that dash attack. Finally going to close it out here so we can, you know, breathe just a little bit, but you can't exactly relax because, again, as you said, Yamo, this is Dank's last stock, potentially winner side here, so really has to show out here and do a lot of more damage than ApolloKage has been doing. But again, he can just kind of sit back, relax, throw all of his explosives at Dank and not really need to commit.
Yeah, I feel like you can't take a lot of these trades with the grenades that you've been doing more in the set because you're so far behind. And yeah, going for a Hail Mary once again doesn't get punished heavily, but actually this might. He's out of resources, has to go low around the Nikita, and that's going to do it. ApolloKage stealing the deal on that game 5.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate